Not that easy just to clip it off your feet and hit a clean winner. Doesn't happen very often. Super talented. David, if there's a ball that comes to him that's got a little bit of time and he's got space, he actually takes the space away and he'll step inside the court. And in that instant, so you don't have to be the biggest hitter on the tour, but you can still play a fast game.
Again, Nishikori. So here's a fast opening game from Nishikori. Trying to dictate the tempo of this match early on, Nishikori. We know Montero's favourite surface is clay. All his success in the Challenger circuit has come on that surface. Best result here at Melbourne Park, reaching the second round in 2021. So he's only ever won one main draw Grand Slam match here.
And yeah, when you play on the clay, you know, his serve's got a little bigger over the course of the last few years, Monteiro, but it's almost a point starter versus something that actually really gives you an advantage. I like that one out wide. He's got a natural a sliding serve. He can actually slide that one out wide nicely. I'd be using that a lot. So you're taking away the ability for Nishikori to control the court off the return.
Quality second serve by Monteiro. He knows he needs to produce that quality because Nishikori, at his best, one of the best returners on tour. There is Ruben Ramirez Hidalgo, the Spanish coach of Monteiro.
Former player. Highest ranking was 50.
Again, Monteiro. good solid start.
It was a good hold. So the initial things that you pick up is where your core positioning is. Obviously, we know the Brazilian likes to sit back behind the baseline a couple of metres, metre and a half. So try and, you know, gives him time and space. For Nishikori, he wants to be on top of the baseline. So I think it's going to fall in the positive side of Nishikori over time if you are going to have a home base that far behind the baseline. There are going to be too many options for the former world number 5. Just like that. So that's a point in case. That would make me a little nervous.
15 love.
And it would be a discussion I would have had with my player around what's the core position needed so we don't allow Nishikori to feel it home.
So yet to drop a point on his serve, Nishikori, who 4 times has been to the last 8 at Melbourne Park, and the last time he was there, 2019.
Nishikori.
Perfect record so far on serve, Nishikori.
Nishikori leads 2-1.
So there's the difference. You can see Nishikori's always on top of the baseline. Whether it's a second serve return, definitely, and then he tries to press. He's got short back swings, and if the ball comes back at you quick and you're used to requiring time to get organised as a clay quarter, that's a problem. Beautiful serve. We'll see if Nishikori makes an adjustment, David, on that backhand side, just to take another half a step over and give his left-handed opponent the middle serve, but take away that natural slider that he can really accurately hit.
No doubt.
30-15.
Lefty's delivery, if he hits his spots, he can be pretty effective on serve, Monteiro, but will have to serve at an absolute premium in this match.
One thing we do know about the Brazilian is competitive, works hard, and had some good results last year qualifying, David. And I always like to see the players that have actually got through some qualifying rounds in big events. He did in Madrid, qualified, got to the 3rd round. He beat Tsitsipas, excuse me, in the 2nd round. He qualified in Rome, got to the round of 16. And Roland Garros, he qualified as well. I like that about a player, able to get through some tough weeks.
Game Monterro.
He holds for 2-all, and he's also had 5 wins over top 10 players, starting with Joe Wilfried Songa, a player you used to coach. In fact, you weren't coaching him at the time. It was 2016, Rio and Clay, when he was over 300 in the world, I think 338 from memory. Holger Rune, he's beaten in Davis Cup in Denmark. Carlos Alcaraz retired hurt in Rio. And you mentioned that victory over Stefanos Tsitsipas in Madrid. And he's also beaten Casper Ruud as well. Can produce an upset.
Love 15.
First point loss on the service of Kei Nishikori. And there is Thomas Johansson.
So they're the new coaches' boxes that are on the big three courts. Rod Laver, Margaret Arena, and also John Cain here, right alongside the players. And a point of discussion, David, is coaching is now legal in 2025. So on the tour, on both the male and female side, and you can see the box there. So the big change now is that players can interact with their coaches when they're at the same side of the court verbally, and when they're on the other opposite side of the court, they can use hand signals if they wish. And there's still a lot of people in both camps of, do they like the coaching, or do they like the other version where the player goes out and problem solves themselves? Taylor Fritz is a big one for the problem solving.
Oh, that's quality. Best forehand of the match. And sets up a couple of break points.
15-14.
He's just dropped his guard on service. And Monteiro has taken his opportunity with a ripping forehand. Monterro breaks in the fifth game and leads by
Monterro 3 games to 2.
In the driver's seat in this opening set, serving at 3-2.
Out. 15-11. Third 11.
207 comes now, his biggest. Last year he served at 65% of his first serves. Landed, winning 72%. Not a bad number. Probably like a little higher than 72%.
Out. 30-15.
Monteiro gives great credit to Gustavo Kuerten, the former Roland Garros winner, just saving his career as a young man, travelling away from Fortaleza, where he grew up in the north of Brazil, wanting to quit some academy tennis early in his tenure. Forehand winner up the line. Just the right time too. And a high quality so far in this opening set. missed, opened the court up beautifully. But could not measure the cross-court
30-40.
And now a break point for Nishikori to hit back.
And this is the important part, because once you get broken, you've got to be able to turn around and come back and actually put pressure on your opponent. The best in the business has been Novak in this. Lose your serve, come back around, stare your opponent in the eye and actually get back to business.
Oh, he's missed.
Nishikori also doing, going a long way back off the second serve return.
Yes.
Wanted to actually just start the rally and be engaged in the point, so took a bit of a different look at the way he was going to play that point.
Advantage Monterro. Game Monterro.
So after a battle, Monteiro has held.
Monterro leads 4-2. So
Nishikori has to get back to business after having an opening in that previous Monteiro service game. He was the one that was on the front foot early, but Monteiro has got himself firmly placed for this first set.
30-11.
That was unusual. So
30-15.
I'm not sure whether he came in and then made a decision of not to hit that ball. You can see here he just comes in nicely. It's a standard ball. Yeah, that was very unusual from Nishikori. He's looking at it. Wow. So I guess this is David, this
40-15.
a player that is obviously trying to find his tennis rhythm again. And I asked Thomas about that, his tennis, bit of his tennis identity. That was very unusual for him to come in and then to almost freeze at a ball and not be sure of a decision that's needed to be made. Not too much damage done here, though.
Game Nishikori.
And now resumes with new balls, serving at 4-3. Oh, that must be so frustrating. Acknowledged as such by Monteiro. We know Roger hits with that clay quarters shape of both wings, but he certainly has thought about his approach against Nishikori. Been a lot more aggressive and reacting to what the Japanese player's doing.
And serving extremely well at the moment. First serves 63% are in. That's roughly around his year average. 65% last year. But good numbers, winning 83% of the time. So that's, last year was 72%. So he's up in a real critical number.
Imagination and execution with a drop shot and missed the easy backhand cross court.
30-15.
And the style he's playing here is exactly what he wants to see Nishikori do, way behind the baseline, doing the defensive movement. The Brazilians controlling the baseline, and when you've got Nishikori doing that explosive work in a defensive manner, you're in a big winning position.
He won't be getting to that. He's executed 3 excellent drop shots, Monteiro.
40-15.
He sees the court really well.
Yeah, and on a clay court, you do have you learn to have an imagination. How can I use the court? How can I use the different spins on a clay court so that, you know, you've got a 30-year-old with a lot of intel. And you're right, the imagination was spot on.
And this time getting to that effectively. The hold without too much fuss and a 5-3 advantage. There's some great Brazilian support.
Monterro leads 5 games to 3.
Expat Brazilian community in Melbourne, as there are Japanese support for Kei Nishikori. But at the moment, it's the left-hander in control. Not his natural area of expertise at net, but he certainly dealt with that backhand volley well. So it's up to Nishikori to hold to stay in this opening set.
There because not only did he defend David, and you can see his competitive nature, his willingness to drive himself to defend, but here he hits it with speed. Look at that acceleration, how quick it got to Nishikori in the depth. Yep, he's all he's out of sorts. Nishikori, he's finding it very hard to handle the left-hander at the moment. And that's been a great adjustment from him on the court.
Still defending an awkward situation here, 15-30. Ninth game, opening set.
Let.
And the issue for Nishikori
Second
is that
serve.
he was never built with a weapon where you can earn a lot of free points. So this serve is really not a serve that actually gives you that.
Oh, he's just found his range superbly, Monteiro.
And so what happens then is you end up engaging in a
15,
lot
14.
of rallies. You know, that serve was 136 kilometres an hour as a second serve. It's not good enough. It's just blatantly not good enough. So you actually are then forced to be playing defence or taking a high risk at the start. So he's got his challenges right here.
A couple of set points for the Brazilian. Effective serve volley, well placed into the corner by Nishikori.
30-40.
And Nishikori's main way home, David, is to be offensive, is to be productive with his ball striking. So, you know, it becomes risky at this point.
Yeah, two well placed first serves to defend a couple of set points. It's exactly the top 5 pedigree that is bubbling to the surface for Nishikori now. A ranking of 4 at his best. And he's got it back to deuce. Great response.
Advantage Nishikori. Game Nishikori.
Looses forehand that Montero's hit. And Nishikori holds, but Monteiro
Monteiro
will serve
leads
for the opening
5 games
set
to 4.
at 5 games to 4. And serves for the opening set at 5-4.
So Nishikori's made the adjustment where he's standing to return serve. A long way back on the first serve, but he's really pushed himself over and covering that ball down the middle, the left-handed swing serve on the first court. And you can see here he's again a long way over covering that wide one. So challenging his opponent to take the middle serve on.
Court coverage. Monteiro has just defended for his life in this opening set and turned defence into attack just as quickly.
And what we know about, you know, when you've been born up on the clay and you've actually played there for long periods of time, you got some legs. You're prepared to actually feel the hurt and the pain in the legs as you're going side to side. Covers that lateral movement beautifully.
Not officially an ace, got a nick off the top of Nishikori's racket, but a virtual ace for Monteiro.
So he makes the good adjustments. So this is he's seeing the court and smartly navigating through it. Yes, Nishikori's standing over. Okay, I'll go to the forehand side. I'm okay with that ball. 208.
the
40,
quality on
15.
the Monteiro serve has carried him to this point. He had a couple of set points saved in the previous game on the Nishikori serve, but now it's on his service action. 2 further set points. Has high quality, and he claims his first ever set in competitive tennis over Kei Nishikori. Nishikori's got to respond after bringing some very good form from Hong Kong to Melbourne. He's down a set in this opening round match.
15 love.
And when you consider those victories he had in that opening match of the year, beating Shapovalov, Khachanov and Norrie, 3 big names in men's tennis.
Yeah, sometimes when you haven't played that volume of tennis, there is some residual that lingers on. But I was curious to see, whenever there was an extended rally in the back end of that set, and Nishikori was the one doing the heavy moving side to side, it felt like there was a moment where he couldn't quite go anymore compared to his opponent.
Game Nishikori.
Exactly the way he started the match, holding to love.
First game, second set. Let first service.
So Nishikori normally loves to step up on the second serve return and take control of the baseline. Here he's just gone into a different mode, long way back. Oh, sorry, that was the first serve. It's not easy to do that kick serve. So he's got, what he's showing us, Monteiro, is his variety in his serviceability. He's able to slide the ball, hit the ball flat. That was a kick serve out wide, so he's using the service box extremely well, the full service box.
Monteiro, his early part of his career was guided by Larry Passos, who of course was the coach of Gustavo Kuerten. Carried him to world #1 and a lot of success at Roland Garros.
He's a great guy, Larry. Fun, a lot of stories, him and Guga. What a career Guga had.
(30-15).
Miss there for Nishikori.
And I guess this is the hard part for Nishikori, is that once the ball's in play, he likes to, you know, Thomas Johansson talked about that he wanted to play with angles. We haven't seen a lot of the angles being used on the court through the rallies so far in this first set and the opening of the second.
That quality first serve really carried him to the opening set and holds an important hold too, because he had all the momentum to close that first set, Monteiro. And what he didn't want was just to give territory away early in the second. So let's see if Nishikori can just reset.
So he's constantly, see that forehand, David,
15.
as a lot of clay courters do, but he's been hunting that ball, that third shot forehands, 92% of the time. Always looking to get around and actually use that. In comparison, on the other side of the court, 73%. So still, as most players are looking to do these days, if they, the minute they can get access to their forehand, that's the shot that can open the game up and give you the control.
Again, just quality off the ground, taking time away from Nishikori. Nishikori in those opening, 3 or 4 games of the match really controlled the tempo, but since then Monteiro has been stepping up on the baseline and really applying maximum possible pressure to Nishikori.
Made a mistake with the drop shot.
40-30.
I didn't think this drop shot was on here. Long way from behind the baseline, it allows Nishikori to, and again right here, that little fancy shot, a lob over the top would have won as well. So a couple of mistakes in the shot selection there on a big point. They're the net points won. 70% from Nishikori.
Let's for service.
Nishikori struggled, but he's held and games on serve in the second set.
And it's really hard, isn't it? As a 35-year-old, what are you adding to your game? What are the little things that are going to keep you relevant and be able to gain you a bit more progress. It's hard to keep squeezing. Especially when one of your main gifts was your speed, and he's not slow, Nishikori now, but he's not the same leg capacity and the drive that he had in his prime. Good serve out there.
40-11.
He's able to hit that at 203. Six aces for him, and he's actually been able to find all parts of the service box with those aces.
Game
Consecutive aces. He's converting it to 83% of the first serve. That number just increased slightly. 2-all, second set. You can see Thomas Johansson just chirping away at Nishikori, whose shoulders are slumped a little. Of course, formerly guided by Michael Chang for a long time, I think around a decade, that saw his career high ranking.
Yeah, and then Max Murney was also one of his coaches as well. He used to originally played singles, top 30 singles player, then became a really big doubles player.
15-11.
Michael Chang in Hong Kong was talking about his time with Nishikori, saying he's virtually part of his family. That's how close they are. Plays with that type of passion and commitment that we saw Chang display over a long and illustrious career. One thing's for sure, if Montero's level drops, Rog, that obviously Nishikori will be right back into this contest.
And if you're Nishikori, you're
40-11.
I liked what Thomas Johansson was saying around what they were trying to do with the games, but also about, are there any other ways we could find ways to win some points in a different fashion to save, save the body and also just have it change. At this age, and it's almost like the second and third coming of him, really.
Let's second.
Oh, brilliant forehand.
Game Nishikori.
2-3 in the second set.
Let's second set.
Monteiro using every part of the court.
One of his favourite shots, Nishikori's that backhand down the line. So he virtually got what he was looking for. So
Third
even,
killer.
even that serve at 154, it had some movement to it. It had a lot of spin as a lefty, and it's got some bounce off the court as well. So there's some really high quality variety out of the Brazilian serve. He's shown us some speed at 212 kilometres an hour, and is averaging at 190 compared to 169 on the other end of the court. So there's a big differential, isn't it, in what we're seeing from the two players. And that's enabling him to have control of that next ball that comes back. It's a good service action. He's got time to unwind on it.
Now that's two pretty ordinary drop shots he's executed in the second set. It wasn't the case in the first. He used that shot very effectively indeed. But
it's almost like he wasn't sure, do I drive this? Oh no, then I'll drop shot. It was almost like a lob. And you and I would have dealt with that pretty comfortably as well. And to any other amateur player out there.
Super defence by Monteiro, just chopping the ball out to stay alive and holding for a 3-all scoreline in this second set.
3 games on.
Monteiro could become the first Brazilian player in the Open era to defeat a former Grand Slam finalist at the Australian Open. Of course, he didn't make that Grand Slam final here. Nishikori, it was of course at the US Open. And there is Ruben Ramirez Hidalgo, who'd be pretty happy with the scenario at the moment. New balls at
nothing better than new balls. And you mentioned the US Open court. That court's got even a little bit more speed to it, so it actually very much enhances the way Nishikori was playing back in his prime. Okay, so a bit of a dangerous time here. And not all, he's not feeling quite right up this end. It just looks like he's not there, shaking his legs in Nishikori. And as I said, he was looking a little bit like he was struggling once the rally was extended. He's obviously feeling uncomfortable.
Again, that lateral movement he's struggling with, and Montero's flattening out both wings, and it's such an effective tactic at the moment.
Yeah, the shot's getting to him very quick, so they've made a great adjustment, an exceptional adjustment from the start of the match.
Under real pressure, love 30. It's so smart. Not too much asked of the first serve, but well placed.
15-30.
And they're the things I'd be looking at. How can I win a few more points and earn a few more on my side of the court so I can change the look and feel. And that's one way of doing it. Serve volley, your opponent's a long way back, gives you a chance to access the forward half of the court.
See, he was hopping around wanting the forehand. He got exactly what he wanted but couldn't execute.
Yeah, he got a bit anxious there. It didn't need to be that good. You know, so he wanted to hit it heavy, I understood that, but needed to be in the big fat areas of the court, the safe zones.
The other one.
All the pressure at that point was on Nishikori to make something happen.
huge point. Big forehand. And just the moment
40-30
needed to be produced for Nishikori.
Good job just to get this ball back in play. And from here, it's not easy. You can see that. Nice safety. Looked like he gave... This is full power, but he also gives it the protection with the safety of the spin.
That's 2 excellent forehands. And under pressure, he holds, but not without duress, for a 4-3 lead.
Nishikori leads 4-3.
Nishikori used to be able to play these points
Love 15.
in a group where he would get on this run and the energy around it would just take you out because he was on top of the court. He saw a big court. He liked to play aggressive natured shots, so he would expose you in a group of points. We haven't seen that yet, that sort of excitement that's coming out of his body. Got a little free kick there, didn't he?
The return of serve was excellent.
But just on that case, on that point of his leg speed not being there. So this is the return. In the past, Nishikori would track this ball down. Look how far he's not too far away from it, but in the past that ball would be, he'd be able to track that ball down. So there's a different, and that's natural. That's the evolution of, you know, that's what happens as we all age.
Well, certainly that hip surgery early in 2022, followed by the ankle problems for Nishikori, impacted his movement laterally. Thomas Johansson spoke about that last year. Monteiro looking to level things up in the second set. Pushing for too much on the backhand return.
40-15.
He just has not been able to build momentum in this match, Nishikori. Favourite shot.
40-30.
For a little too much.
But a different version of it. It was a flatter ball that generally doesn't come off his racket. Lost a little bit of control.
On top of the baseline for the second serve return. But Connolly was there from Monterro and holds after a bit of a struggle. 4-4 second set. You can see Ruben Ramirez Hidalgo. Sometimes they travel with the second coach, Pablo Fuentes, but he's cutting a lone figure there in the coaching box of Thiago Monteiro. Top 50 player in the world in his day. Made the round of 16 at Roland Garros, so very, very good clay quarter.
So got one back, but this could be at a bigger moment. In the previous game, Monteiro gave one on the opening point. This becomes a large point.
certainly doesn't change his return position for the second serve, does he, Monteiro?
15-0.
He doesn't, and he got caught because he was trying to return with his forehand, but there's got to be a time when you've got to give that up and just play your backhand side, because that when he tried to go with his forehand there, he got himself crammed up and lost his core position.
The point I was making, you coached a number of players who were reluctant to change their second serve return position. You can just see that clay court instinct.
40-15.
A rare ace for Nishikori, and that relieves a bit of pressure as well.
Oh. 40-30.
Good change of direction.
Nishikori.
Head control by Nishikori, superb. And he holds for 5-4 in the second set.
Nishikori leads 5-4.
It's nervy,
Yeah.
you know, so you're sort of sitting through your start of your match and different ways of preparing and dealing with rain and those little delays.
No nerves in that forehand as Monteiro serves to stay in the second set. That's his favourite shot.
Yeah, and he's continually looked at getting around and using that whenever he's had the opportunity. He's quick with his first steps, powerful with his first steps to give himself access to that forehand.
Sixth unforced error of the set. Just opens the door slightly for Nishikori in this 10th game.
30-15.
And the adjustments he's made with his serve has been impressive. 9 aces to Nishikori's 5, but it was virtually his first serve was finding that sliding serve in the opening service games of the match, and then he's since then been very creative with spreading the load.
Quality first serve out wide. Nishikori not quite having the wingspan of some of the taller players on tour.
Monterro.
This first and second set creeping towards a
5
tiebreak.
games on.
Monteiro levelling at 5-all in the second.
And what Nishikori's found it very hard to do is get to the backhand side of Monteiro. And so there's two ways of doing that, David. You either get the direct hit there and you hit it sort of short and across towards the sideline there so they don't get to run around it, or you play your first ball aggressively to the forehand side of the left-hander, and that opens up the backhand real estate.
15 love.
I haven't seen yet any real change with Nishikori's game off the back of the court to try and expose that side.
Almost a freeze frame there. Maybe both players thought it was out. Electronic line calls. That's such a hard volley to play. Quality response from Monteiro.
30-15.
Maybe the point that gets him into this service game.
$40-15.
It's not big, but he's got good placement, and he's needed that throughout the course of his career.
Lead for service.
Yeah, quality forehand. Crunching into the corner.
Nishikori.
And a shake of the racket in defiance. Nishikori
Nishikori
holds for
leads 6
6-5
games
in
to
the
5.
second set. Can Kei Nishikori find a way into the Monteiro serve, the Brazilian, at 5-6 in the second set.
Doesn't hold back on the forehand side, does he? When he gets the opportunity, sets it up here with that serve that bounced away from Nishikori, and immediately he used his athletic movement. Extremely fit, 30 years of age, 6 foot tall, but extremely fit.
Yeah, that's such a clever return. Just a chip forehand return to show him something different.
15-0.
He's going to have to outthink Monteiro, Nishikori. His attacking instincts, Nishikori.
It was a more typical Nishikori point, really. And you could hear what was more significant there. You could hear the little squeaking of his shoes, Nishikori. And in his prime, Nishikori, you could constantly hear his side of the court, the squeaky noise in his shoes, those little steps, the adjustment steps.
Nishikori has just upped the ante at just the right time.
15-14.
Couple of set points.
Let for service. Let for service. Thirty 14.
Montero's been able to serve his way out of trouble. Still faces another set point. Oh, big forehand after a heavy second serve, and just the response he was looking for.
And it's funny. This is what the great players do when they're behind. They make sure they get to control the way the point's played, and that's what he just did there. Could have gone into a bit of protective mode and taken a little bit of speed off that ball. Liked it.
Couple of set points saved and
Advantage Monterro.
first serve down the tee.
And he's being brave. There's no doubt about that. He hasn't gone into protection mode, and that's what I like. That's when you find out more about yourself. Are you willing to keep stepping up and actually throwing some big blows? So far to date, he's done this beautifully in this game.
Slammed the door shut on Nishikori, so a couple
Monterro.
of set points and sending this second set into a tiebreak.
6 games for second set tiebreak.
And it was good ball striking, but then there on the second serve, a nice controlled serve into the body of Nishikori, knowing that Nishikori would probably want to look to be aggressive. So you can see he's actively thinking. His tennis IQ is actually really quite high. It has been out here. And you know, a man who's confident, you win your matches, get into you qualify, you get through. You're seeing the ball and feeling pretty good about things at the moment. Big tie break for Nishikori.
Oh, that's just clean as a whistle. Changing direction.
1-0 Monterro.
And Nishikori's got to very quickly find the good vibes of Hong Kong. And this match may be getting away from him pretty soon if Monteiro can maintain this level of tennis. Ooh.
2-0 Monterro.
Can't do anything except say well done there. I mean, that's just take your hat off to someone who can actually step up on the ball like that and just hit that for a clean, cold winner.
the best backhand he's hit in the match, and just at the right time, Nishikori. Monteiro asking a lot of the Japanese superstar, and he's delivered in that point.
2-1 Monteiro.
Did the right thing here, hit that slice, came in, covered the line which he needed to do. The opening was there, but wow, that was a rifle from Nishikori. You need to play, if you're Nishikori, you need to play your best tennis right now, because the Brazilian is, he's there. He knows this is his moment. I love these pressure moments, David, because you just see, does the chatter start? Does it change? Does someone get a little anxious? Nishikori's been here a lot. He understands high stakes tennis. For his opponent, it's not as regular.
3-2 Nishikori.
There's not as much in the bank reserves to call on, so we'll find out a lot about him in this tiebreak. 2 sets to love lead is such a difference in this match when you've got a 35-year-old up the other end who's not sure about his body fully being able to last 5 sets. Again, you can see that
3-0.
well thought out point. Took some pace off that serve, got the ball to be active and move Nishikori way off the court, and then he had full license to hit this forehand here. Yes, he hit it firm, but he was able to hit it with a little bit of protection as well.
He's been pretty much full throttle since the opening point. Thiago Monteiro. And he shows no signs of taking his foot off the accelerator. Just making him wait. 3-all. This match in a balance.
Next. First service.
Two big first serves. Just notice how important it is
Monteiro.
maintaining this level. Many half chances Nishikori's had. He hasn't quite grasped.
Well, this is all about his first serve for Nishikori. Needs to land his first serve. He's done that 69% of the time, winning 78% of those points. 50% on the second. Wins it with his favourite shot, that backhand down the line. It's a very natural shot for Nishikori to play, not high risk. Highest part of the net, you can see there, it's right behind the ball, just needs to get through the line.
Serve volley, and he's missed the overhead.
Beautiful lob though. The lob was a ripper.
Did you expect that?
5
miss?
for
No, the serve
Monterro.
volley.
I didn't expect the serve volley, but no, but it was a good way. It was a good, it was a change up. Tough volley, played well. Look how far he had to track to hit this. Not too far off the baseline.
Now it's on the racket of Monteiro, the mini break.
It's not his strength either, that the smash. One of the elements of his game which is not at its, not a premium. Gee, that's a great serve. I mean, that is his serving
6 for
has been
Monterro.
exceptional. 63% of first serves, 83% winning. Not winning as many on the second serve, 43%. But I'm more about the placement today. Doesn't normally serve with this tighter placement where he's finding the lines, getting his player in uncomfortable positions.
2 set points to Monteiro. Good quality return, but he's come up with a forehand.
And second set Monterro.
And he's taken a stranglehold in this first round
7
match.
games to 6. Monterro leads 2 sets to love.
Now a break of over 8 minutes, and on resumption,
Love 15.
Nishikori wins the opening point of the third set. You've got one player just bristling with confidence, the other not quite getting into his rhythm. So let's just see if there's going to be any shift in this third after that long break. Caught the back end of the line.
15 up.
Nishikori came up with that SWAT reply early in the match for a clean winner. And Monteiro's broken his own record. The first Brazilian player to win a set at the Australian Open against a former major finalist since himself. He beat Joe Wilfried Tsonga in 2017 in that respect.
Gee, and don't we miss players like that, Joe Wilfried Tsonga on the tour, the way he played and entertained the Australian fans and fans around the world.
Talk about energy. Wow. Who can forget that run he made at the AO all those years ago?
Sometimes a third set, when there's a big break at the end of the second set, can be a little flat. So you've got to generate your own energy. You can see there.
Just stretching. You know, these last 3 drop shots, a couple in the second set, and that had not found the mark.
Yeah, it just hasn't just has not played that shot well, hasn't he? From the backhand and the forehand drop shot, and it's almost the time he's played it, he hasn't needed to. Could have kept extending Nishikori with his movement.
Oh, that's a short arm jab. Risk reward firmly in favour of Nishikori in that return of serve. Wow.
Dios. Advantage, Nishikori.
In this opening game of the third set. Monteiro brushed one away with an ace. Let's see what he can do on the second.
Let for service. Dios.
Oh, he's constantly hit his spots with the first serve, Monteiro, to get himself out of tight situations. That's why he's 2 sets to love up. Nishikori's chipping away.
Yeah, but you feel like he needs to take these. You know,
Yeah.
this is the game you need to take and start to try and generate some form of momentum your way. Get the crowd involved to sort of give you that energy to pull your way back into the match. And the beauty with the Brazilian is he's been able to find, with his left-handed serve, he's been able to find all the areas. He's been able to hit all parts of the court. That one there was flat through the middle. There's one at the body. There's sliding serve. So this is the beauty of having some variety with your game and with a particular shot. And he's showing us some real class serving.
Oh, played on the limit. Clever slice up the line by Nishikori. So we're in yet another break point, number 4 in this game.
And that time, Nishikori was able to hit this shot here, not that one there, but he was able to hit the one that spread him wide on the backhand side and create all these opportunities. First time he's been able to create the angles.
Lead for service.
And remember, Thomas Johansson talked about that. Nishikori wanted to play with the angles. Maybe we need to see a little bit more of that in his when they're off the back of the court together.
Full-on defence mode, but he's turned defence into attack very quickly in that point.
Yes.
And the issue was right here with Nishikori. See this ball here? This needed to be a backhand. Why would you run around your forehand and expose so much court for the left-hander? That was such a poor choice, and I think he knows it. With his backhand, he would have stepped up and hit that ball down the line. It would have been break. Big opportunity missed. Becoming one of those games that just builds. One player feels like they've got all the opportunities. The other person's feeling like they're just holding on.
And you consider it is a very important game for Monteiro just to get out of trouble if he can. It's facing now a 5th break point in this game.
Shot he was trying to play, and that was all advantage Nishikori in that game because it was four backhands hit to one forehand for Monteiro there, so it was not his favourite style of point that he wanted to play, and that was unfortunate. That was just a miss hit there. This will be a huge out for the Brazilian.
Nishikori missed in the previous with a forehand, but there was nothing amiss with that. Up the line for a clean winner to earn a 6th break point.
Nishikori.
There's a physical point there, and you can see a lot of backhands from the Brazilian. Nishikori able to target that area, and then at the end there, this was the all or nothing ball. Nice 22-shot rally. That was physical.
To a 4 body serve.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting? Whenever the ball's gone towards Nishikori's body, there was one at that first set where he came to net and it came at him, and you just hear it, just almost like he's not unsure what will I do.
execution.
He's never going to make that, was he? I mean, you miss the last three.
Advantage,
You couldn't be that
Nishikori.
confident, and it was just the wrong shot at that time. Had your forehand there. Nishikori's actually hitting the ball a lot crisper here at the moment of this opening of the third set. His direction of ball striking is good. He's got some depth on the ball. He's been able to find the backhand of his opponent more often. So this is a little good patch for Nishikori. He needs to take advantage of it.
Thank you.
8-minute break in between the second and the start of the third set. This is a marathon opening game of the third and a 7th break point.
Yes.
Familiar script to this game.
Advantage, Monteiro.
So it'd be frustrating. Nishikori doesn't give a lot away. He's always been in check with his emotions.
Oh, 7 break points pushed away, and Monterro, with a clench of the fist, holds a marathon
First
game.
game, third set.
He resumes down 2 sets to love and love 1 in this first round match.
15-11.
And a very interesting stat. Thiago Monteiro saved 10 break points so far in this match, equaling his highest tally in a single match at the Australian Open. And just a reflection.
13-11.
And that's extraordinary, by the way.
Yeah, he saved 10 against Benoit Paire in 2022. It just shows you that.
10 from 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, extraordinary.
14-11.
And then all of a sudden you've got this game that's maybe completed in inside a minute. Almost.
40-15. Game, Nishikori.
Just a point. He holds for
New
1.
balls, please.
He's going to need a bunch of those type of games if he's going to get to 5 sets and
One game.
be a chance to overturn what is a losing record over 5 sets in major championships for Kei Nishikori. Tough situation for him. A couple of significant injuries in the last 18 months. New balls and Monteiro.
Nishikori's sending a couple of rackets to be strung, and so too is a Brazilian. Sent one to be restrung. So, and that's good because you've got to be in preparation, thinking that this will go the distance. So you need to keep refreshing the rackets. They come back pretty quick, roughly inside about. They're stringing around 15-minute mark, so you'll have them back in about 20 minutes.
He's hit that forehand with great shape and
15-11.
purpose. It's been his go-to weapon, hasn't it?
Yeah, they've had a game plan, and they've really stopped Nishikori from being the aggressor. A lot of Nishikori's work has been, his aggressive movement work has had to be in a defensive mechanism. big power.
Game.
Quick game.
Monteiro.
Held to love. And in contrast to the opening game,
Monteiro
the
leads
third
2
set.
games to 1.
And Nishikori's level's actually quite good at the moment. I feel like he, maybe the only way in's going to be a little dip from the Brazilian. It's a poor miss, that one. Because I think the Brazilians, you know, you can see he's alert, he's eager, he's hungry. He can sense there's an opportunity here. There's no doubt about that. His level's been very consistent. Haven't seen a dip at all in just over 2 hours of tennis. So that's been impressive.
Almost a reflection of his mentality at the moment. Nishikori. Forehand of frustration, perhaps.
Well, there may need to be a few winners hit. There may need to be a few more risks taken.
Oh. $40-15.
Again, Monteiro just maintaining that defensive posture in the return of the second serve, not changing his position at all.
And he doesn't really need to, because he wants time if he can get to his forehand. And that's what can happen. That's what can happen if you do decide on the second serve you want to stand in. If you stand in and you try and force the play, and you leave the other side of the court open, you don't get your shot hit right, there's a lot of open court to be hit into.
He had a good look at that. Certainly close to the edge of the line. Saw Thomas Johansson chatting furiously to Kei at the...
Bit of a different spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're a winner in 2002. You beat Safin in 4 sets, and now you're sitting in the side. You're sitting there like you're riding every point, and it's a great spot to be in as a coach, but it's also tough because you can't really. You'll be having interaction, but there'll be only so much. You'll know how much you can move the needle with your player on the court.
Maintaining a very high percentage, around 80% of first serves. First service points won. Average speed of just over 200 kilometres an hour, so he's kept his numbers up as Thiago Monteiro. easiest point he's won, holding to love. Again, second consecutive service held to
Monterro
love
leads
after that
3 games to 2.
awkward opening of the third set, and he leads 3-2.
Time.
Sweeping shot outside John Cain Arena, former Premier of Victoria. This arena is named after. We've had persistent rain on day one of AO 2025. Kei Nishikori, 4 times he's been a quarter-finalist, but he's under the pump here at down 2 sets to love and 2-3.
And as you set the boulders, the longer it stays even, and Nishikori doesn't find a way ahead in the count, the pressure just builds as you're coming out of your chair and you're 1 behind. So these service games, if you can get through them unscathed and with not too much tension in them, it allows him to put pressure back on his opponent. And I like what I've seen from Nishikori in the sense that he obviously had that lead-up tournament in Hong Kong as a finalist, so he's played a volume of matches. But to get back to where you want to get to, Dave, you need to play. You know, your body needs to be robust enough. Oh, it's a big shot to handle. Not just tournament play, but the work off the court.
40-15.
I mean, 90% of the time we're on the court practicing, and then 10% of matches. So you need to be able to handle the volume that you need to load. 152 kilometres an hour, it's big. It's those shots there where you don't hear his feet. You know how I was talking earlier about that hearing of the feet moving, the squeakiness of the shoes.
Game Nishikori.
A bit of a struggle, but he holds for 3-all. Third set just exhaling a little bit of frustration out.
3 games over. Look.
Have to admire the way Monteiro has maintained his levels. He has not dropped off significantly in this match. I'm sure Nishikori was hoping for that not to be the case.
And he's also got the same bounce out of his body. There's the unreturned serves. 52% for the left-hander. Nishikori 36%, so significant difference of 3 points. And that makes a difference in a match that's tight. One's speed and one's accuracy.
Whoa, second serve.
Game Monterro.
He knew that was a big point.
15
Get the
love.
opening point, you're 4-3 up. What he's done a real good job of as well, when Nishikori's taken the Brazilian out wide to his forehand court, he's been able to make virtually every one of those balls.
That's the sort of play that's carried him to 433 career wins. He's the most successful Asian male in ATP history.
Game Nishikori.
Gets things back on track for all. Third set.
4 games over.
12 tournament titles for Nishikori. 10 on hard court, 2 on clay. It's been a good career, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I was just watching him after that. It has been a great career, and there's so many big positives and wins. And you know, just watching him after he won that service game, he just quietly walked to his group. So now he's trying to get some energy out of his body. That's what I was hoping to get a little bit more from Nishikori. A bit more bounce. Stare down your opponent. He does remember that.
You have to admire the wheels of Thiago Monteiro. Just brilliant court coverage.
The wide one to his forehand where he was able to stay alive in the point.
15
and
love.
then when he had the opportunity to accelerate the ball, extraordinary. But so you can see how fit the Brazilian is. Right here, that to generate speed like that and to take away any opportunity for Nishikori, that was special. And then a great job of finding the first serve. Once you have an extended rally like that and you've got the balls in your hand and you're serving, it's critical that you land your first serve because there is a bit of fatigue there, so you may get a free point like you just did. You don't want to give your opponent any more time to get their breath back.
And this service game started with Nishikori bouncing around, trying to show his opponent that he was on the toe, and Monteiro has answered the challenge really well.
I would always tell my player that if there was an extended rally and you were serving, grab the balls and step up to the line ASAP. Let's get the next point started.
No, he's rock solid.
Monterro.
Ending with his 14th ace of the match at a 5-4 advantage. He leads 2 sets to
Monterro
love,
leads 5
and
games to
Nishikori
4.
will serve to stay in the match. Serving now to stay in the AO of 2025.
And it's a big moment for him, isn't he? For the Brazilian, because you're ranked at 106 in the world. You've had a career high 61, but you qualify, get yourself into the second round. That big moments, the big points, can change a lot of your year. Gives you another opportunity in the second round. Look at that. Watched it very closely hit the line, and I actually think that that made him hit that ball late. Just hanging in.
Hit with not much margin, but it's found the line.
30-15.
Sprays that forehand wide, and in doing so just ramps up the pressure on himself.
And there's the footwork for Nishikori. That's so, as I said, I keep reverting to his age, but at 35 he's lost those little things. That was, his feet were just stuck there. And for a person who's so dynamic with his, used to be so dynamic with his feet, it really hurts you as a player when you lose it.
He's looking for the forehand, and he's drawn a double fault.
30-40.
Just the wrong time for Nishikori.
Wasn't he looking for it? He was. That was the exaggerated look for the forehand too, David. Good call.
Thank you.
Match point to Thiago Monteiro.
Let first service.
Relief for Nishikori. Both players on the limit in that point.
Yes.
The Japanese superstar brushes away a match point.
Yeah, there were some opportunities there, wasn't it? That was the heart rate's just gone up.
Foul.
Wasn't the best of returns, dropped short, got what he wanted.
Advantage Monterro.
Yeah, it does ask you the question, when it's dropping short like that and it's got some flight on it, it's coming up at you and it's saying, well, it's really here to be hit for a winner. Are you prepared to take that risk?
Second match point. It's white knuckles on the edge of the cliff time for Nishikori. He's just hanging on. I'm sure his coach feels the same way as well.
Let first service.
It's another look at a second serve on this deuce court.
Well-constructed point.
Nishikori.
Would have talked about in the Nishikori camp that being able to get the ball out wide to the forehand of his opponent, left-handed opponent, and then use that backhand down the line that he loves.
Well, he's negotiated 2 match points.
Nishikori.
Push them away to hold serve and stay in the contest. Nishikori showing all his Grand Slam pedigree there.
5 games all.
As Monteiro is looking for 4 of his last 5 matches against former Grand Slam finalists. Pretty impressive record, but he's got some work to do. Had a couple of chances.
Thank you.
To converting that to Nishikori service game. Now has to reset at 5-all. He read the right way. That's superb defensive tennis from Nishikori.
Love 15.
He held his line. Picked the forehand of Monteiro to recirculate the power and then put away the backhand into the open court.
For the whole match. Whenever he's been behind, he's been able to find the first serve and neutralise everything. He's done a great job of being able to find the serve when he's needed to. That's been the most impressive part about his game today.
Taking time away from Monterro. And now the Brazilian
15-13.
feels the stress at 15-30 after holding a couple of match points in the previous game. I think it can quickly turn around if you don't take your chances.
And again, great variety
13.
At love 15, it was through the middle, 205 kilometres an hour down the middle of the court, and that time it was a sliding movement ball out wide at 169 kilometres. So Nishikori hasn't been able to get a legitimate read on the serve of the Brazilian.
Step in and go crunch on a fairly significant point too.
30-40.
That's his best return of the match.
And this is Nishikori at his best. Good footwork. Sees that ball through the air and makes that initial adjustment. Didn't have to move too far. The location wasn't great. And
Thank you.
sets up a great opportunity here.
That ability to save break points in the match, plus the positioning of his first serve, just superb by Monteiro. Second double of the match. Wow.
Advantage Nishikori.
That's the first time I think we've seen a pressure moment get to the Brazilian.
So we know under pressure he's found some aces down the middle of the court on both the forehand and the backhand side. Be interesting to see what he goes with now. Nishikori's gone even a little bit further back as well, giving him a different look.
For Nishikori, he's knocked at the door, and suddenly it is ajar in this third set.
New balls, please.
The Japanese star. And now he serves with new balls at 6-5 to send this match into a fourth. Why not? Little change-up serve volley tactics. Work the treat.
15 love.
And you're getting a slice reply. So the minute you get a slice reply, the ball's coming up. So you've got this type of volley, that nice waist height volley. Couple of miss hits off the racket.
30-15
now. A little bit more than we've seen, so not too much. It's not a big shift, but it's enough for Nishikori to get a little bit of fuel from.
40-15.
He's at this. A couple of set points to Nishikori.
Set Nishikori.
From the break, saving a couple of match
7
points
to
and
5.
then converting
Monterro
a
leads
set
2
point.
sets to 1.
7-5 in the third.
15 love.
Get on the board and rebuild. I'm sure that's what Thiago Montero's thinking.
Oh, he just needs to play the same. Does not need to shift anything really, to be honest. I mean, that wasn't, you know, that could have gone any. He had a couple of match points. So hopefully he can just keep his calm and go about his business. You know, we'll be looking for things, just small things. Does his serve come off a little bit, especially that first serve, where he's been able to find a good direction and variation. Does he have a little element of doubt? But I think he's seen enough, and that he just needs to keep his foot down on the pedal.
Sort of shot making that got him back into that third set. Preparedness to take the ball early.
Well, he's got to take these type of risks because you need to unsettle your opponent. And so there hasn't been you know, if the one area that I would say if I was Thomas Johansson is we need to be a bit of a disruptor in this match at some point. So that doesn't mean playing high-risk tennis, like ridiculous tennis, but you've got to change what it looks like from baseline to baseline. There were a few more winners hit in the third set for Nishikori, so that's one tick.
Muscular rally this time comes in the favour of Monteiro.
And when he does find it, Nishikori's been able to find the backhand side of the Brazilian more often, but it's where he's finding it. If he finds it straight up the court, the Brazilian steps in and flattens it out, that's fine. But it's the one that needs to break the sideline. That's the ball we're looking for.
Let for service.
Oh.
40-30.
Just his third double of the match, but one came at the most inopportune time in the last game of the third set. Controlled aggression.
Yes.
Stepping in on the return of serve. Just asking a pretty significant question for Monteiro in this first game of the fourth set. Now he's lost his first serve percentage, and as a result,
Advantage Nishikori.
He's
got a breakpoint opportunity to start the fourth.
And it's a great return because the return goes into the back, it goes straight back at the opponent. So Nishikori can get the ball back at you really quick, and that's where I would ask Nishikori to go more times than not. Straight back at the opponent. He takes a little bit of time to get organised with that forehand swing.
I thought he had fired that drop shot away, but he got away with one there. Monteiro.
They were both poor, let's face it. I mean, the drop shot from Monteiro and then that attempted lob from Nishikori. I mean, Nishikori probably could have done a little bit more with that ball. Let's see here. This drop shot, well, that was poor. And Nishikori had a chance to actually hit a proper forehand where he came over the ball. Big miss.
Great defence by Monteiro. That was a punishing rally. Side to side, he was worked. He just came up with the answer.
Monterro.
And that hurt Nishikori.
20 shots. It was defence and then offence. The Brazilians been able to do a great job of that, defending extraordinarily hard and then finding a way to hit big offensive balls.
Unforced errors just beginning to creep into Montero's game. I remember the first game of the third set, a marathon, 15 minutes nearly. Nishikori had 7 break points in that game.
Let first service.
On the forehand, that was a great example.
Yeah, 5th unforced error in this game alone. On Nishikori, they pile up as well. 33 unforced errors for the Brazilian, 31. And the winner count, 41 to Nishikori, so he's up on the count. The Brazilian at 29.
Oh, I thought he dragged it wide, but there was a bit of frame involved.
Yes.
It's caught the line. Wow. Second break point not converted by Nishikori.
The temptation here was to go up the line, and that's when Nishikori was tracking.
Defence upon defence, and he could not be penetrated in that point.
Advantage Monterro.
And I don't know if he got all of that as well. I think that was a little bit of frame as well from here. But you take it all, David. You pay for a racket, you can use every part of it if you like. There's no point worrying about what part of the racket you use if it lands in the right spot.
Game
He's found the first set
Monteiro.
when it mattered.
And the great part is for Team Nishikori is they're going to get some great data on where he's at. How is his body tracking? How will it feel, you know, potentially going now? You know, we're in the fourth now if it does happen to leak to a fifth set. So the information they're going to get is going to be very helpful for his year ahead.
50-0.
And more for him personally, how he feels out on the tennis court. Just getting that, building that belief system within.
Let's first service. (30-15).
Missing that overhead.
40-15.
He definitely looks a little more comfortable on the court within himself.
Game Nishikori.
So again with a loss of just 1 point and 1-1 in the fourth set. Thomas
One game
Johansson
over.
spoke to you before the match, Roger, about his concerns in Kei going the distance. He's going to have to if he's able to survive in this tournament.
Yeah, I guess when you enter, you know, and you cross the line, it's best of 5, and so hopefully you've had the preparation needed to build those foundations.
Oh, tee off on the forehand, gave himself room and went crunch.
Well, we're seeing, you know, he's a pure ball striker. So the ball comes out the middle of the racket. It generally comes out fast. He's got an explosive arm. You can see there that acceleration of the racket head on the ball. The winner count climbs.
Double faults creeping in,
Love
serving
30.
first serve under the 50% mark, so that is the area that's really dropped off for Monteiro. And as a result, the opportunities are mounting for Nishikori. So there are going to be some unforced errors, and you know there is a bit of fatigue that sits in it, and you don't know when that turns up in an individual. As you said, serves percentages down in the set. A little bit more concern on his face now.
And the first signs of real frustration. Great sign for Nishikori. Just filled his fuel tank a little.
Breaking to love, and Nishikori has got all the momentum now. And Nishikori serving with the advantage at 2-1.
So yeah, there's a little shift for the Brazilian, and so they'll be having some discussions. It's a great opportunity. This is where the coaching can come in play, and you can have an effect where your player's a little bit unstable, as far as a little unsure. Need to settle him down. And will we see a greater use now of that? Because now you have the freedom to coach and speak to your player while they're at your end of the court openly.
He's just lost his range.
30-15.
Forehand. Couple of forehand errors. First couple of sets, first 2.5 sets, he was premium on that wing. And he's in control, Nishikori. And when you consider what we were seeing about, what, half an hour, 45 minutes ago,
3 games
it was Nishikori who looked the more likely to be fatiguing. But, the opposite is occurring at the moment.
Yeah, but there's no need to panic. The reality is Nishikori hasn't taken the game away from you at all. Like, it's not as if he's actually just stolen this tennis match. So you've got to just think about looking after this service game, this point, getting to the break.
Low 15.
We're hearing there may be some physio action, a change of ends perhaps. Off the forehand, and we've just had confirmation Montero's call for the physio at the change of ends. Obviously, it's been physically quite a punishing match. Trying to survive in this service game. Certainly opening the shoulders on both wings. There's Nishikori. That's his favourite shot, though.
And you can see he didn't have to move too far, but he owns that shot, doesn't he? Again, showing us how sweet he is as a ball striker.
Forty.
And when you, like someone like Nishikori who's had the experience, you actually can feel what's happening up the other end. He can see it. He's getting all the information from the ball that's coming off the racket of his opponent. So this is, as I said, this is filling the tank for him.
To the backhand and another
Advantage Nishikori.
And it was so important for Monteiro to stay in touch with Nishikori. He's given the Japanese star a chance in this 5th game. Another double fault and a double break of serve for Nishikori.
Nishikori leads 4 games to 1.
4-1. Great adjustment to get that volley back. You know, Nishikori.
The Brazilian's he's a mountain of work. He's a worker. You can see in really good condition. Spends his time on the clay, so you earn your points. This was a funny start to this. So I'm thinking he's going to be around the whole time. What a super effort to get there and play that with touch.
Kilometre ace with a bit of work on it, splitting the line.
Lead for service. Lead for service. Let first service.
You're like everyone else, you find that funny, do you?
Easily amused.
40-30.
So Nishikori is in territory he hasn't occupied in this match.
Nishikori leads 5-1.
A relative comfort zone. Double break. 5-1 his advantage. Question marks over his opponent's physical well-being. And Monteiro serving at 1-5. Almost sure and certain this match is going to a fifth.
And you just want to hold your serve. If you're
15-11.
Monteiro now, you need to look after your serve, and if you're thinking of the fifth, so you want to start serving first at the start of the fifth. So this game's a real pivotal game for him, even if he pushes his fourth set aside. I wouldn't be working. I'd be looking at getting this,
15-0.
putting all my eggs in this basket, holding the service game, but then probably letting this set go if you're thinking you're going to be able to continue.
$30-15. $40-15. Game Monterro.
So the ace count grows.
Nishikori leads
Nishikori
5-2.
with a double break and a 5-2 advantage in the fourth. As unlikely as it seemed about an hour ago, he's serving to send this match into a fifth. He's full of confidence at the moment. He knows his opponent is somewhat restricted. Good tactic to serve volley in the opening point. Hard to move for that.
30-11.
And it's what he should do. He should let this set go. And Nishikori has a pretty good record, doesn't he, David? 28-8 lifetime in 5-setters, Nishikori. 7-1 here at the Australian Open. So things are moving into his charts pretty well.
$40-15.
There's less than a training drill.
And fourth set, Nishikori.
And it's going to a fifth set. 6-2 in double quick time for Kei
2 sets
Nishikori.
over.
couple of things. You can see the energy of the ball that's coming off the Nishikori racket. It's quicker. It's got a lot more explosive. He's feeling good about his. We'll look at the movement of the Brazilian and see whether he can stay in it mentally. Because when you've got something, if you are feeling something, can you just get the blinkers on and sit in the alley of just playing the match and pushing aside those feelings that you might be getting through your body, the signals. And that is David, that's part of the athletic makeup of a great player. It's why some players can't week in, week out offer themselves fully to the tour as well. So, you know, when you watch the Novaks, the Rogers, the Rafas, the Murrays, the Serenas, you know, all those past champions, they have that quality to block things out.
That part of his game that just re-engaged. First serve percentage dropped off. That was the thing that carried him to 2-0 and a couple of match points. Monteiro. Can he re-engage? Needs to hold serve in this opening game of the 5th.
Faulty 15.
So over 7 hours on court, including the qualifying for Thiago Monteiro. Throwing a couple of matches at the United Cup.
30.
It's a thorough preparation, but has it spilled over to some fatigue in this opening round? He's used to the red clay, used to gutsing it out on that surface. He's going to have to show some real courage in this match. Game point in the opening game of the 5th. He converts on the ball first. He serves love 1 in the 5th.
50 love.
He's actually got a 7-1 5-set advantage record at the Australian Open. Nishikori only losing to Roger Federer in 2017. So,
30 love.
it's a pretty encouraging record here overall. Down 2-0 in his career, not so, but at the AO, a lot more positive.
Oh. $30-15.
And he's enjoyed the support here. He's enjoyed the court surface, the speed. It's also always the start of the year. You're at your freshest.
40-15.
Nishikori was a player
40-13
period through his career where he played a certain amount of weeks, but then felt like he needed to be off the tour to have some recovery time. And so that start of the year period is actually, you know, as I said, it's when you're physically and mentally the freshest.
Nishikori.
And that base of 3 wins and making the final in Hong Kong lays the foundation for Nishikori, and some real optimism on his coach, Thomas Johansson.
Hasn't given much away, has he? There's been no signs that he's been able to give his younger opponent, 30 years of age.
15 love.
Interesting. You see Monteiro engaged visually with his coach a lot more since the injury timeouts. Of course, he's not close to him now, so it needs to be visual. He's placed at the other end.
And it's a winning shot, that backhand down the line. To be able to use the backhand down the line
15 all.
hasn't gone there often, or often enough probably in this match, but when Nishikori is able to do that, the whole court, you can see how the whole court opens up and you're fully in control. So natural for him to redirect that ball down the line.
Let for service.
Oh, such a physical rally. Monteiro pushed to the limit, and the forehand was a little too much for him.
And he came out on the wrong side of the physical battle.
15-30.
And a great job from Nishikori to keep pushing himself, that which wasn't what he was able to do early in the first couple of sets, set and a half. Once the rally was extended, you could see there was a real decline in his ability to push and move aggressively, but that was perfect. Bit of a statement point there from Nishikori.
That was after 2 seconds. I know, but it's been like 5 times already.
No, I disagree. You can discuss that as a changeover if you want.
Talking about the service clock.
Thank you.
Rally. And Nishikori has found his range superbly.
15-40.
A couple of break points in the third game of the fifth.
And he's found it with his feet. This is the game is our sport is a movement sport. You need to be dynamic with your movement. If you can have that sort of type of footwork, which Nishikori relies on, you get to execute your shots. And this is his best period here the last 30 minutes with his feet.
That's how close Montero's getting to the service clock. 20th ace. Catching the edge of the line. cooking the forehand.
Nishikori.
Nishikori breaks and leads by 2 games to 1 of the 5th.
Nishikori lead.
Nishikori's balls, it's
15
it's coming off his racket a lot sharper, and as I said, that's purely with his footwork. He's been able to get his feet in the right spot and actually generate that power. He's a player that's fed.
13.
His tennis game is fed by having that explosiveness through his legs.
But it's almost like scoreboard pressure has made his feet more dynamic, because he wasn't looking that way in the first couple of sets.
And from the Brazilian side of the court, he did a great job to get the lead. Unfortunate that he didn't claim the match point, but there's always going to be time when he had a dip.
Game Nishikori.
And you needed to be around. You needed to still be invested when that dip turned up.
Okay, just catching all the lines at the moment.
Nishikori leads 3 games to 1.
Edge of the line, but not getting any love from the chair umpire. Certainly caught the right bit of it. Now it serves under pressure at 1-3. You would think going down a second break in this 5th would almost be fatal for the Brazilian.
No, that is fatal.
Led for service.
Solid point though. They're the points you may not win them at the end, but they're the positive points. You walk away from that and feeling good about the way you've been able to deliver that. So now it's all about the pushes coming from the Nishikori side of the court. It was for 2 and a bit sets, 2.5 sets. It was really almost 3 sets. It was coming from the other end.
Led for service.
We're not seeing that aggressive, defensive movement that Nishikori had to do for 2.5 hours.
Led for service.
prepared to apply
40
maximum
love.
possible pressure on the second serve. With that comes some errors, but the posture has been uber aggressive from Nishikori. Monteiro now with 3 game points to stay in touch. He does it with an ace, his
Monteiro.
21st. And it's Nishikori with the break and a 3-2
Nishikori leads
advantage
3
in the
games to 2.
deciding set.
Love.
You can see a lot of the tension is out of the body of Nishikori. His body language is so positive compared to what it was a few hours ago. We're up to 3 hours and 50 minutes for this first round match. Got the service break he was looking for in the 5th. That's the shot that really opened up the match for him.
15-13.
Forehand for Monteiro.
This is a good effort here. He's pushing. Didn't think it would be anything less than this. He's always had a great ability to fight. And now
15-14.
it gets real again.
Such a physically demanding, exacting first round match, and now a couple of break points for Thiago Monteiro.
Good point. Has gone to the slice serve
13-14.
out wide and the serve and volley a number of times. Nishikori on some big moments. That was a large one. Very quick to get in.
Open up the court, but the forehand also brought the unforced error.
Great defense. Great defense from Nishikori. That was all about how willing were you to extend yourself, and that was Nishikori of old there. That fully extended reach. Back in the fight. There's nothing better, is there?
Nishikori finding a way.
Advantage Nishikori.
Yeah, for Monteiro, the biggest difference is his forehand and backhand, they're not as penetrating anymore. The backhand side is virtually a rally ball when he's swinging at it, but it's not that flat blow that he was being able to deal early on. So there's a big shift in the way these rallies are produced.
Again, Nishikori.
2 break points are pushed away by Nishikori. He's showing exactly why he's been a 4 times quarterfinalist here and a Grand Slam finalist at the US Open. Tapping into that type of mentality at 35 years of age. And this man was 2 sets to love up with a couple of match points in the 3rd.
And that was a point. He missed a break point. See there, it wasn't that well organised, and that was feet. He's hitting his feet, saying they're not moving like they were prior. Can he still hold on? That gave him a little look that I'm still in the match. I think a string is broken there. Yep, from Nishikori.
$15.
Never the fastest mover to the change of ends or talking about using time.
Stringers have been worked over in this match. Probably 5 or 6 at least rackets been restrung.
$15. $15.
Such a huge point, and Monteiro holds firm.
Good ball striking, wasn't it, from
40,
both
15.
players? It was pretty crisp. You could see the confidence coming from the Nishikori racket. He's able to move the ball around the court now with ease, moving well. Just hanging on here. Good battle.
He stays in touch. It's Nishikori though with the service break in the 5th and deciding set. Nishikori could have sent this into a 5th, saving a couple of match points in the 3rd. He's got the service break in the 5th, though, leading by 4 games to 3.
15-11.
Good disguise, perfectly executed.
30-11.
Why hasn't he served well for this match? 73% of first serves in, winning 81% and 54 on the second. Giving it, last year was at 62% in, with 70% winning on the first and 53 on the second. So you can see there's a considerable shift in this.
40-11.
Gifted some pretty cheap points too. Will be able to take, but that won't matter for Kei Nishikori.
Nishikori leads 5 games to 3.
What a smooth ball striker he is. That's, again, as I've mentioned a couple of times now, the ball is coming so fast off his racket. That's freedom of flow of your body. Nice and loose and relaxed. Well, Thomas Johansson, he talked about the 5-set scenario and wasn't sure. Well, they've got some answers, haven't they?
Monteiro has to dig
Love 15
to levels of resilience perhaps he hasn't found at Grand Slam level.
And obviously you'd love to have Nishikori serving this out, but he's been battling to hold his serve. Points aren't as free anymore. Service not been his friend.
Closing in, and Monteiro, his resilience might
Love
be broken.
30.
Love 30.
I've enjoyed his fight, though. I mean, they'll walk away if this doesn't go his way. Disappointed, there's no doubt about that, but got to be proud of the fight. Qualified, got here, has given himself a chance.
Defensive backhand to keep him in the point. And it's earned Nishikori a couple of match points. And that's why.
Again,
And that's a comeback.
second match,
Enormous
Nishikori.
courage from Kei Nishikori.
4-6, 6-7, 7-5, 6-2, 6-3.
At John Cain Arena, and for the 8th time at the Australian Open, he survived a 5-set thriller.
Round 2 at the Australian Open. Let's make some noise for your winner, Kei Nishikori.